Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, wherever you're watching around the world. Welcome to California. And it is the next match in this round of 32, an all European affair for us tonight. Spain against Austria. Matt White on the call for you in Los Angeles. And if this added round in this tournament so far has been anything to go by, could this one be the next in a cacophony of great storylines? An all-European affair for us tonight is the European champion Spain against a somewhat surprise team of Austria getting through their group, which of course included Argentina. Almost ready to go. We've just had the anthems and both teams out on the field. It looks like a Spanish home game here in LA. Red and yellow everywhere. This match could be being played in Barcelona or Madrid, but it is under the Hollywood sign out west in Los Angeles. Here's the teams for this one. In fact, before we do the teams, well, JT can put them up on screen. He is behind the scenes, as always. There you go. I was going to introduce you to the refereeing group today, but that graphic is yet to appear. So let's tell you about the two sides. Spain have yet to concede a goal in this tournament. Can Unai Simon keep a clean sheet again today? Pedro Porro comes in at right back for them, alongside Pau Cabazi, Emeric Laporte, and Marc Cucurella, formerly of Chelsea. The big story is on the right-hand side of midfield for Spain. Of course, it is Lamine Yamal, Rodri, Pedri, and Alex Baena across the midfield, with Dani Olmo supporting Mikel Oyarzabal up front. Alexander Schläger keeps his spot in goal for Austria. Stefan Posch, Kevin Danso, David Alaba, the captain, and Konrad Laimer across the back. Midfield is Romano Schmidt, Nicholas Saiwad, number 6, Xavier Schlager, and Marcel Sabitzer, once of Manchester United, on the left-hand side of midfield. Paul Wanner supports Mikhail Gregortic, the number 11, up front. Rodri, the captain of Spain. Danso, the captain for Austria. And we're almost set to go here in what you would assume on paper to be a Spain win. But as we saw yesterday, stranger things have happened. There is how the bracket looks after the 3 matches yesterday. We were on for that crazy game up in Seattle. Belgium getting it late against Senegal. Of course, the US winning last night against Bosnia to book their place in the round of 16, which they will face Belgium. This one has ramifications for the game later on today, which is Portugal against Croatia. The winner of that will play the winner of this. Hello everyone, Matt White here in Los Angeles, ready to go for this round of 32 second round match here at the FIFA World Cup of 2026. Spain versus Austria, as I said, is a sea of red in the stands, and Spain are in their home strip, red with the blue shorts and the yellow trim. It's going to be an all-white chain strip for Austria. It's the 9th meeting between these two sides. Spain have a 6-2 record in the head-to-head with the one draw. They did meet in the 1978 World Cup in the group stage. Austria coming out 2-1 winners that day, and actually topped the group to go through. That was the last. The Brazil were also in that group. That was the last group that Brazil did not top at a World Cup. Spain, of course, the European champions, looking for their first World Cup knockout game win since they won the final in 2010. They will get us underway, and we are underway now. Yes, now we are. Lamine Yamal gets us underway, and Spain kicking in the red shirts and blue shorts from left to right. Austria in their chain strip of all white, top to bottom, going from right to left. And Austria will get an early free kick here, just inside the Spanish half. Interesting stat that caught my eye in the build-up today. Spain so far through their 3 group games have had 44 shots at goal. Austria only the 25, but Austria have scored 6 to Spain's 5. Long ball forward down the left-hand side, looking to get Marcel Sabitzer away, the number 9 for Austria, down towards the corner flag, left-footed cross, and it's cleared by Spain, but not too far. It'll come back to Sabitzer again. He lays it into the middle, and Yamal was there to pick it off. And now can Spain counter-attack straight away? They will do. It's Buena on the left-hand side, gives it back to Yamal inside channel, into the edge of the penalty area. Yamal with a shot, and Gregory Schwarzer, down to his left-hand side to stop. It was Yamal that won the ball, and then a 1-2 down the left-hand side, got it back to Lamine Yamal, and his left-footed shot straight at Alex Schwager in the Austrian goal. Early chance then for Spain. As I said, trying to break this relatively ridiculous record that they haven't won a World Cup knockout game since winning the final in 2010, that Andrea Iniesta goal. But looking to make a mark in this tournament. It could be a bit of a coming out party for them this afternoon here in LA. No better place for it, of course. But it's been a bit of a struggle through the groups. Of course, that draw with Cape Verde in their first game. See if they can get off the mark here. They've got it down the right-hand side with Buena, but he's robbed off the ball and cleared. And Austria picking it around in the midfield. But Porro with the interception has it back. Still more ball going around going on. It's gone back to Unai Simon in the Spain goal. Here is Porro. Gets it back from Lamal and try to play it forward towards Oyafabal, the number 21 up front for Spain, leading the line again today for Luis de la Fuente's side. 25 goals for him in 53 caps for the national side, the man that plays for Real Sociedad. Austria back in possession just inside the Spain half on the right-hand side, looking out for a long ball forward, and the goalkeeper was out of position. Chance for here for Austria if they get the cross right, which they didn't. It was in towards Gregotic, but not quite the correct pass, and Spain will clear. Palkavazi back there to clear up. You would have thought the game last night or yesterday that I was on, Belgium Senegal being 3-2 was end to end. I don't think they were going to see a very different game today. Long throw in from Austria, but it's cleared away with a Spanish header. And Austria take possession of it just inside their own half in the centre circle. Nicholas Seward on the ball, the number 6 for them. Seval, I suppose it would be, being of Austrian vintage. Is Kevin Danzo the captain? Oh, sorry, the vice captain. It's David Alaba, the captain, number 8. But they've lost out there. Spain have got it back again. Here's Lamal, and he's played it Alex Buena, edge of the penalty area. 3 Austrian shirts around him. His cross shot was blocked. It's come back to Lamine Yamal. He goes down. Referee puts his hands up in the air straight away. It's come back to Lamal again, who picked himself off the turf, and he wins a corner. Danzo's suggestion that Lamal went down fairly easily in the first challenge. There was certain contact. It wouldn't have been a penalty. It was outside the area, but he picked himself up and got back on the end of the next free ball, which Danzo came across the block. And our first corner of the match comes to Spain. 4.5 minutes played here at SoFi. They will go short with it on the far side. Now it's whipped in on the second attempt, cleared away. And Austria will clear at the second attempt. That's probably going to be a free kick. No, referee says play on. There was a certain pull there. Chance of a counter-attack though. Marcel Sabitzer on this side for Austria. His ponytail swinging in the breeze as he picks up the ball on the left-hand side. Chased back by Dani Olmo for Spain. Hands it off. Back with Sabitzer again. And Austria will just slow the pace slightly here. In fact, we'll try to go back. Lamal almost picked off the pass there. Which is Xavier Schlager, number 4 in the midfield for Austria, but they have it still with Sabitzer, and he's played a great through ball, and the flag has gone up on the far side anyway, as they were trying to get Gregotic away. Offside, and Spain will get us back underway with a free kick. We're looking at that counter attack from before with Lamau from ref cam. It's ended up with the first attempt on goal of the game. A tame effort, really, in the end by Lamine Yamal. He has it on the halfway line. He's bundled over, and the ball has gone out right into the Spanish bench for a Spain throw. It's Pedro Porro, the Tottenham man. A busy transfer week for Tottenham Hotspur. He'll have plenty of new teammates to introduce himself to when he gets back at club level once this tournament concludes. Rodri, the Man City captain in the middle of the Spain captain, the place of Man City, should I say, in the middle of the field as well. Oyafabal goes back. He's Kubazi trying to build up from the back for Spain. Rodri just inside the Austrian half. Finds some support from Gavi. Or Pedri, sorry. Oyafabal with a touch. It comes to Porro. Here's Lamau, number 19, down by the corner flag. 2 Austrian defenders with him. Goes back to Pedro Porro's cross. Dani Olmo's shot. And it's straight against some Austrian defenders and cleared. Snap first time effort from Dani Olmo. Spain still in possession with it on the far side with Alex Buena. He plays a nice ball inside towards Cucurella, who made the on-rush. He has played for a corner and I believe has got it. Yes, he has. Game off an Austrian defender. Another Spain corner on the far side. Which by name of the Atletico Madrid man will stand over, the number 17. 5 in the area for Spain here from the corner. Which will come in now, in towards the goalkeeper. Oh, and it was, I think, off Danzo in the end, yes. And behind, Emerick Laporte trying to get on the end of it. And, he was being wrestled slightly. In fact, it was Laporte that got most of that. It's gone out and been given for another corner to Spain on the far side. But when it will again attempt, no, it's been overturned. Referee did have that as the wrong decision. It is going to be a goal kick. Good points of VAR. I've seen some bad points of VAR over the last 24 hours or so at this tournament. It's not been a great week for VAR. Some Spanish legends in the crowd. Michel Salgado, Francisco Hierro, Carlos Puyol. Watching their nation. Here is Lamine Yamal on this near side. Going to have a tough battle on his hands. Here is Conrad Lima, but he did well that time on left back to shepherd Lamau towards the sideline. It'll be a Spanish throw. Bayern Munich wing back, playing a full left back position for Austria today. Pedro Porro is going to take this and he is instructing for a long one. This throw from the near side touch line, and in fact ends up going short. Anyway, ball is up in the air as the cross comes in towards the penalty spot. Goalkeeper came and punched, didn't punch very well, almost fell at the feet of Buena, and the referee is signalling that it's going out for a throw. Will be a Spain throw on the far side, which Cucurella will take. Another man that's on the move from Chelsea to Real Madrid during this winter. There's been plenty of transfer action going on over the last 24 to 48 hours in and out of the Premier League. Cucurella's deal was done a couple of weeks ago. Here's Emerick Laporte for Spain. He finds Cucurella on the far side. Buena coming slightly deep. Nice ball inside towards Olmo. He tried to skip past a couple of defenders, goes down, wins a free kick. Not entirely sure that was a free kick, but it's been given regardless by our referee. Xavier Schlager was the man at fault, the number 4. Spain will get us back underway quickly. It's out on this near side to Yamal. Tries to get around. Reimer goes down inside the penalty area. Half appeals. Austria clear. They're now still on the turf. Rodri's got it back for Spain. Olmo. Now Laporte. Running at the Austrian defenders. He finds Cucurella about 25 yards out on the far side. Here's Buena. Cucurella, chance to cross, maybe no. Goes back to Buena again. Up against Posh. And it's gone out for a corner. Stefan Posh sporting a interesting carbon fibre chin guard. Easy to spot the number 5 out there for Austria. We get a replay of the Yamal run into the area. Definite body-to-body contact between the two of them, but down fairly easily. And referee waved away the appeals. Spain have another corner on the far side then with Alex Buena. 11 minutes gone here in Los Angeles. Still 0-0. In it comes, and it's headed clear, but not particularly far, only to the edge of the area. So Bitzer got a touch on it and cleared. But Spain have possession again with Porro. He fires it out to the left-hand side. Buena taps it back in with his head. Spain keep possession. Rodri. Finds Kubasi. Now Porro. Rodri again. Forward by Laporte. Cut out by Posh. Austria have the ball back briefly. And it's gone out on the far side for a throw. Cucurella right on the spot there. In fact, it might actually be a free kick against Cucurella for a foul on Posh right on the byline. Referee having a word with Mark Cucurella. The president is here. No, not that one. The other one, Gianni Infantino, who has probably done the most air miles of everybody in this tournament so far, in and around the World Cup host cities. Yes. Ball is out on the far side for a Austrian throw, which Posh will take and goes long, trying to get them out of a bit of danger, but Rodri was underneath it to head back. And it's gone all the way back to Simon, whose dam has yet to be breached, as I said, during this tournament. Spain yet to concede. And they will be hoping that they will continue that one for as long as possible. In the early stages here, yet to be troubled. Ball has gone out on the far side for a Spain throw. There was some pressure from Gregatich that blocked the clearance. But it's back with Simon now, trying to get some of his Spanish defenders a little bit further up the field. Ball it goes towards Pedri, cut out, and back to the goalkeeper yet again. 14 minutes gone at SoFi. Spain 0, Austria 0. The winners of this will, of course, advance to the round of 16 and will face the winners of the game upcoming later on today. Another all-European clash, Portugal against Croatia. A man down for Spain. It might be a laugh about. It is. The number 21. There's a collision off the ball there with a Austrian player. It was Kevin Danso, the captain. Sorry, no, David Alaba. I'm going to get those two mixed up all day. Alaba, the captain. Picks Alaba up, and now he's getting a little talking to by our referee. We're back underway. A Spanish free kick, or about to be. Pedro Porro will stand over, but it's not within shooting chance or whatever. He gets us back underway with a short pass to Rodri. Here's Olmo letting it run, cut out. A chance for Austria to try and get out with some pressure, but immediately they lose the ball. Porro wins it back and then goes down, and the referee signals for a throw to Spain. Cucurella mistimes his touch, and Austria have it on the far side with Posch. And they go backwards. Danzo ends up going back to Alex Schwager in the Austrian goal. Again, it's with Schwager all at his feet by the penalty spot. Olafabel try to close him down, but they will get out briefly. And again, the press keeps Austria pinned back within their own final third. "16 minutes, we're already into Mexican wave territory. Ball forward from Danzo down the far side. Kept in play, but then given away. And Austria end up getting it back again, but basically in the same position that they were before, with Alaba on the ball. Trying to make something happen in the midfield, Austria, but no way through there. And that's a great crunching challenge from Rodri. Austria have come away with the ball, though. It's Marcel Sabitzer on this near side. Chance to put in across towards Gregotic, and it was just over his head. And it'll spin out for a goal kick. Well, that's a decent chance for Austria on a bit of a sort of half counter attack. Good ball in from Sabitzer. And Gregotic, the number 11, if he'd only jumped, kind of stooped under it, under the challenge of Pocabazi there. He only got some height to his jump. He may have got a touch on that. Best chance Austria have had through this first 17 minutes. Here is Lamine Yamal passing it on towards Porro, who'd made the advancing run. Pedro Porro up from right back. Chance to cross. Does so. Goes past Olafabel. Bueno had slipped, but he does recover and collect the ball on the far side. Short pass to Olmo. Now Cucurella on the far touchline. Olmo again. Pedri. Trying to pull the strings from the deep midfield position. Laporte. Here is Pedri again. Out this side to Yamal. Again, two around him. That leaves space for Porro. He's clipped it in towards the back post. And Schwager with the grab. You're rushing Alex Bueno underneath it, and Olmo, in fact, sorry, underneath it, but Schwager out nicely to take that one. Nice interception. We've seen plenty of interceptions in this stadium before. Perhaps add that one to the list. Alaba forward for Austria, but he gives it away. And here's Yamal running at them. 1-2 with Olafabel into the penalty area. Didn't quite collect the second ball. And again, Alaba will clear. Finds Sabitzer, but he goes down under a challenge from Porro. Referee says Austria free kick. Definitely foul. Porro into the back of Marcel Sabitzer, winning his 99th cap today for Austria. Goal scorer at the Euros 2 years ago. Former Manchester United man, now playing his club football at Borussia Dortmund. Be nice to put it for him if Austria get through this one and he can win his 100th cap in a round of 16 World Cup match next week. They've got to get past this tough opponent here, though, first of all. Alaba has it on the edge of his own box for Austria, so no pressure up for the moment from either side. Danzo tries to direct some traffic, goes to go down the far touchline, but his long pass is out for a Spanish throw on the halfway line. "20 minutes played in Los Angeles. The opening chapter of the next script in this enthralling round of 32 of the 2026 World Cup. No drama to speak of particularly yet for either side. Spain coming forward on this near touchline with Yamal, the dancing feet of him, and he tries again to turn Sabitzer inside out. Still in possession. He beats them both. Two defenders, one of them being Sabitzer. and in trying to let the ball roll out for a corner, ends up losing possession, and Austria will clear from down by the corner flag, but only briefly. Gregotic couldn't get that pass under his spell, goes out for a throw. It's a joy to watch the 18-year-old Yamal. He's not fully fit. Just missed a bit of the end of the last season with Barcelona. Was trying to get himself back for the start of this tournament. Of course, came off the bench in the first game against Cape Verde. Laporte with a long ball looking for the superstar on this near side. His header keeps it in play back to Porro. Gets it back again. Rodri. Austria keeping their shape nicely. Cucurella on the far side now for Spain. Got Buena ahead of him. Does use him. Try to dink it over the top towards Ayafabal into the penalty area. After I got the touch. And it was spin across the 6-yard line. And Schrager out to Gava again. Nice idea. It was Danzo actually that ended up helping the ball on in replay. As Ayafabal try to close that one down. There is Porro at midfield, right on the dot. Rodri with it now at centre point as well. Laporte. Buena on the far side, got Cucurella ahead of him, but he was being forced back. Spain continue to probe away here as we head towards the first hydration break coming up in a couple of minutes. Good ball into the box from Porro looking for Yamal, but it was just a bit overhit, even for his speedy feet standards, and Schrager out again to Gava. And Austria will try again here to see if they can find the chink in the Spanish armoury, which, as I've said a couple of times, yet to be beaten. Unai Simon in the Spanish goal. Luis Fuentes down there on the Spanish touchline will now have a chance to talk to his players because it is the first hydration break of the game. 23 minutes played at SoFi. 0-0. Yet to see a real gilt-edged chance for either team. It's been a midfield battle for the most part through this first portion of play. As you can see on screen, a couple of matches still to come today. Portugal versus Croatia next up at 7 p.m. Eastern. That will be the fate of whoever wins that one and this one, if that makes sense, in the next round. Turkey against, sorry, not Turkey, Switzerland against Algeria at 11 p.m. And it's Australia against Egypt and Argentina against Cape Verde. Those 5 matches on the bottom of the screen there. The final matches in the round of 32. And then we're into round of 16 territory on Saturday with Canada against Morocco, the first game in the round of 16 coming up at 1 p.m. on Saturday. That's 1 p.m. Eastern time, 6 o'clock UK. Spain have had the better of the chances through the first 25 minutes or so. Just getting a replay again on screen of the Yamal chance from the opening minutes, really. There's a bit of a scuff into the ground with the left foot. And a half chance at the other end for Gregotic when he had the ball over the top from Sabitzer, the best chance for Austria, which he didn't get a head on. Austria won't sit and park the bus. They will try Ralf Rangnick's team, another of the Manchester United linked in this game, along with Sabitzer, former United boss, the German. He will try and get his Austrian team forward as much as possible, but if they get the lead by any stretch, by any chance, we may see them fall into one of the phrases of this tournament, of course, low block. If if they get the lead. But it's been all Spain really through the first quarter of this match. We're just about to get back underway. Spain are ready. Ralph Rangnick still giving out the orders down there to his side. Trying to get a bit of shade down on this near touchline in front of the dugout. It's a Los Angeles day in July, that you can be sure. It is warm here. And the Austrian players making their way back into position for this upcoming restart, which will be a Spanish throw on the far side. Which Cucurella will take. To use a Matthew Owens line, which I didn't roll out yesterday. If you like what you see, and more importantly, what you hear, click subscribe on USN and like, and you'll be notified when we go live for all of our upcoming matches, which you can see on screen, and other events too, including Wimbledon, of course, on at the moment, and NASCAR back at Chicagoland on Sunday. Spain have the game back underway with Yamal on this near side touchline, up against Lima and Sabitzer. The no-look pass to get Porro in. Right-footed cross is far too overhit. It's going to spin all the way out for an Austrian throw on the far side. One for the highlight reel there for Lemine, but it didn't come to anything with the overhit Porro cross. And we're seeing it in replay. Absolutely ridiculous piece of skill. Away by the head of Danzo for Austria. It's come to Laporte just inside the Austrian half. He pumps it back forward, up and under, trying to get Oyafabal in. Danzo again was there to head clear. It's only going to fall, though, to Porro. He leaves it off to Yamal, running at defenders, about 20 yards out, spins through. And he's going to end up with the feet of Dani Olmo. Oh, had a great chance. And Stefan Posch coming in from left to right with a tremendous block. The goal was gaping there for Dani Olmo after a great first touch. He couldn't just put it into the second, but Posch was across to win the ball. And it's gone out for a Spanish corner, which Yamal will take from this near side this time. First corner in this corner of the ground. Yamal all the way under the goalkeeper, which has come down, and it's been put in. Spain lead. Marc Cucurella has got the goal. There's some arms up. There's some questioning. I don't think it's going to count. I think the referee has signalled that Schlager in the Austrian goal was fouled. And the goal is scrubbed. Disbelief for the Spanish fans in the stadium. Let's see in replay. He was crowded with Schlager by Laporte. A couple of defenders. Rodri was in there as well. And the ball just fell to the feet of Marc Cucurella, who, smart finish actually, outside of the foot to clear. That could have been a handball in there as well after the punch from the goalkeeper. Well, whoever it came down hit Lima on the arm, but wouldn't have been a handball. The goalkeeper did get to it actually in the replay, but smart finish from Cucurella, but it won't stay. It won't count. And we will go back to 0-0. Alex Baena for Spain on the far side. In fact, no, it's not. It's Pedri going backwards. Laporte. Pedri again. So Spain on the score sheet briefly before the foul was adjudged on the goalkeeper. We stay goalless through the first half hour. Laporte for Spain inside his own half. Long raking left-footed pass out to this near side touchline. Lamau keeps it in with the header but gives it away to Sabitzer, and then Rodri with the interception ends up winning Spain a throw. It's gone all the way back to Unai Simon in the Spanish goal. Felt like this was going to be all one-way traffic this evening, or this afternoon, should I say. And proving to be much the case so far through the first half hour. The ball has found the net through Marc Cucurella, but the Austrian goalkeeper found in the build-up from the corner. Here is Cucurella for Spain on the halfway line far side, bursting forward, running infield, gives it to Pedri. Now Alex Buena on the far side. What can he do? He runs into traffic. That was Stefan Posch. Goes back to Pedri. Gives it back to Buena again. Chance to a cross maybe. Only Olafabal in there to aim for. Working his way further and further back. He gives it to Pedri. Here's Rodri. And Austria again forcing Spain back. Ball is with Yamal on this near side touchline. Running at Lima and trying to go past him, and does so. Does he keep the ball in? Yes, he does. Oh, a cross shot gets flicked off the goalkeeper and it spins all the way through. Another chance for Spain. Buena back into the penalty area. Olafabal. Olmo couldn't get it out of either of their feet. It's still with Olafabal. Gets the shot in. Oh, and a great save from Schlager in the Austrian goal to deny Olafabal for Spain. Smart stop down to his left-hand side. Outstretched fingers to keep Austria level. Crying out to be hit at some point there from a Spanish player, and Olafabal in the end, with the left-footed shot, saved Spain corner. We know what happened last time they took a corner from this side. Yamal again. Again, he goes into the 6-yard area. Schlager out to collect this time. Again, more pushing and shoving in there. A couple of players ended up on the deck. Fairly comfortable in the end for the goalkeeper. This wasn't. And it's a good stop to keep out Olafabal. Long ball forward from Pedri over the top. Flag's up. It's fallen to Yamal, and he ends up putting it over, but the flag was up on the near side. Would have been offside anyway. Even if he'd managed to find the net, right under the nose of the referee's assistant on this side, and yeah, in replay. Good couple of yards offside that time for Lamine. Austria had it briefly, but they've given it away, and now they've got it back again. And Sabitzer on the halfway line. Alaba, the captain for Austria, gives it to Danso. Out onto the far side. Chance for Posch to get forward here. And maybe a chance to cross for the right back, but he is forced back. In it goes, right-footed cross, and cleared by Laporte. Only as far as Alaba. He just decides to shoot from a long way out. And it's high and wide. And a fairly field position wasted chance there for the Austrian captain. 10 more minutes or so to play in the first half here at SoFi. Spain 0, Austria 0. If you're just joining us, Spain have had the ball in the net through Marc Cucurella, but it was ruled out for a foul on the goalkeeper from a corner. About 6 or 7 minutes ago now. It's been all Spain, relatively speaking, through this first half hour and change. They continue to look for their first World Cup knockout win since the final in 2010. The European champions. Here is Alex Buena on the far side, running at defenders. Chance for him to shoot, maybe. No. Pulls it across. It comes to Yamal, edge of the penalty area. Through the legs of Lima, but Alaba was across to clear. Gone up to Gregotic. He falls. Loses possession, but now gets it back. So bits are trying to put him in over the top, but Spain defenders well forward to pick up the loose ball. Cucurella has it on the far touchline. Plays it nice pass inside to Rodri. It's Buena. He's got Cucurella on the outside, goes through the middle towards Ayafabal. He pulls it across towards Olmo, and Austria will clear. It was just in front of Danny Olmo there on his late run into the penalty area. Nice idea, though. Pedri trying to probe through. He's found Cucurella. Chance for him to cross. It was Ayafabal, and that will stand and that will count. Spain lead. They've been pushing and probing and pressing the buttons, and finally it has happened. Ayafabal with the goal. Mikel Ayafabal gets his 26th national goal, and Spain are in front as we approach half-time in SoFi. Great run from Pedri, opened it up. And Cucurella's pull back to the penalty spot from the left-hand side. All the Austrian defenders had run on. Ayafabal stopped. And he got to it first. David Alaba threw himself at it to try and get a block. Alex Schläger in the Austrian goal completely beaten as it rolled into the corner. And Mikel Ayafabal has got Spain off and rolling in the knockout phase. Spanish delight. Austrian turmoil so far. Luis de Fuentes congratulating his team down there on the bench. And Spain in front here as we approach half-time in California. Alaba trying to make a difference from the deep ball forward, looking for Savitzer, but he couldn't control. And it'll be a Spain goal kick. Kemal Alfaba's 11th goal in his last 10 caps for Spain. Certainly, if it's not about Lamine Yamal, he's the man of the moment. Here is Yamal running forward, edge of the penalty area, goes central, still surrounded, turns and gets the shot in right-footed, but it's straight at Schläger. Turning this way and that way, Yamal, but in the end his shot was poor. Lima trying to get out for Austria on this near side, and Spain get it back with Laporte. Rodri. And now Emerick Laporte again. (6-1) the attempts in Spain's favour, not one on target for Austria yet. That Alaba effort a moment ago, which flew over. The only attempt on goal really for Austria. They have not had any real chances inside the final third for Spain. Here's Olmo finding Ayafabal, edge of the penalty area, surrounded by defenders. It bounced up against Ayafabal's hand. There was Austria complaints for a handball. Referee says play on. And they clear. Briefly, all the way back to the halfway line, and Spain will pick up possession with Rodri. Well, another good passing move for Spain, getting through the middle, and Olmo again was at the centre of it. Here he is, just inside his own half as he comes deep to collect that one. Gavi. Pedri, I'm going to get those two mixed up all evening. I apologise. Here's Yamal. Coming to a stop. Left hand boot up in the air. Tries to give a little give and go with Pedro Porro. And Pedri trying to get back involved. Loses possession, loses the ball. It's going out for a throw. Conrad Lime will be having nightmares about Lamine Yamal tonight, you can be sure. Here is Cucurella for Spain. Austria again trying to get out and keep their shape, but they will need to do something different here. This carries on into the second half. We're seeing a replay of the goal, just confirming that Cucurella was onside for it in the build-up. Here is Marc Cucurella. He finds Oyafabal is pulled wide, and his intended cross bounces off Danso, and it'll be a Spanish corner on the far side. 5 minutes left to play in the first half here at SoFi. Spain 1, Austria 0. On the Ultimate Sports Network, our continuing World Cup coverage. And it continues, as you can see tonight, with Portugal, Croatia, and Switzerland, Algeria. More round of 32 games to come your way over the rest of the day. This is our opening game of the day here on this World Cup Thursday. Wayner takes the corner, right-footed, right swinging in. Again, the goalkeeper had a punch and did so, but everyone was back for Austria, and their outball is pounced upon by Porro, and Spain have possession back again with Unai Simon, their goalkeeper. Rodri. Laporte going long left-footed. In fact, perhaps trying to catch the goalkeeper off his line there was Laporte. But goalkeeper, what that was, that ball forward from Laporte, but Austria have it with Alaba deep inside his own half, trying the long ball forward, flicked on. Going to get some runners away. Cucurella was across to take it. Austria have it with Sabitzer running at the Spanish defenders. Chance for a cross in towards Gregotic. Oh, and touch back to Posh. Edge of the penalty area, and Rodri smartly in to nick it. And he will run it clear. And then calms it down. Wasn't the counter-attack on there, but great presence of mind there from Rodri on the edge of his own box to pick the pocket of Posh, let's say. Spain have it back with 3 minutes to play in this first half. Pedri goes down on the halfway line, no foul. Austria bringing it forward. And it bounces off of Dani Olmo and spins through to Simon. It was Xavier Schlager trying to make something happen. Bursting through, but surrounded by Spanish defenders. Olmo for Spain. Nothing happening forward for him. Rodri plays a pass inside to Laporte. Gets it back from Cucurella. Nice ball forward from Rodri, trying to find Oyafabal. He was fouled just inside the just inside the Austrian half. It'll be a free kick to Spain. Yamal, of course, on this near side touchline, running at Lima again. Tries to go past, checks, pulls it back. Porro's cross deep towards the back post. 2 Austrian defenders underneath it to clear, but not very far. Alex Baena. He and Cucurella exchange a 1-2. And it goes back to Cucurella again. No one really in the centre for a cross here for Spain. And it ends up going back to Laporte. Rodri missed control. That's a rarity. And Austria have it back. There is Sabitzer, number 9, just inside the Spain half. He's got ample runners in front of him this time. And a great ball across the field to the far side. Pull back for the cross. Too far behind them. Chance for Schlager. And here's Gregotic on the edge of the penalty area, but he's crowded out. And in the end, the flag has gone up anyway on the far side for an offside. Nice idea from Sabitzer with a crossfield ball. But nothing coming of it for Austria. Perhaps they'll get one final chance here as we head towards half time. Here's Lema forward into the penalty area. Crowded out again, though, by Porro and Olmo. A combination of, and Spain will clear. Oyafabal in the right back position, the striker there for a moment for Spain in there. Advances to get back. Good ball from Porro, though. Spreads it towards Baena on the far side, just in front of the halfway line. 4 minutes will be added as Alex Baena strides forward. He finds Olmo, try to get the return on the 1-2, wins a free kick. Cucurella having a chat with our referee. I think it's been given as a Spanish free kick. Hard to know. If we look at some shots of the Spanish bench, it is going to be a free kick because now the referee's marking out where the wall will be. So one final swing of this for Spain at the end of the first half here, perhaps from this dead ball. Just got Baena and Olmo standing over it. Laporte and Kubazi up from the back, the two centre halves. Baena looks likely, the most likely here, the number 15, and he will shoot. Oh, it's hit the bar and swung up into the air. Underneath it was Porro, still not cleared away. Yamal, what a chance that was. Good save. And now Austria will clear for the third attempt. Wow. Two great chances there for Spain. And Yamal, with the goal gaping again, has managed to find everything of Schläger. Great free kick. He was beaten there, Schläger, but it was just a touch too high from Baena. And then in the aftermath, a snap chance for Lamine Yamal, but saved again by Alex Schläger in the Austrian goal. 90 seconds to play in this first half. Spain have the ball on the near side touchline with Porro. Knocks it forward towards Lamal. He tried to go round Lima, and Austria will receive possession. But how's the press from Spain? Trying to keep Austria pinned back inside their own third here. There's a couple of players down from separate incidents. Ball is tossed forward by Austria. Cucurella was across to claim. And now the referee's going to stop because we have Pocabazi on the floor. Being bewildered at the referee why he wasn't awarded a free kick. We're going to get a replay of the free kick that was from Alex Baena, and then what a chance for Yamal on the rebound. The smart stop from the Austrian goalkeeper in the end after he was... In fact, he actually got a touch on the free kick. Now we've seen it from that angle. But what a stop that is from the Yamal chance secondarily from that. Just about to get back underway, although we've only got 20 seconds left here. Our first half stoppage time. Now that we have everybody back on their feet, the referee has the ball in his hands, and he is going to give a drop ball. Eventually. And Spain now will get us back underway through the drop ball, and the referee has now blown for half time. So then, Spain go in at the break after the Mikel Oyarzabal goal. They lead here at SoFi Stadium in a bitty first half, let's say. But the man that's now scored in 11 of his last 10 scored 11 goals in his last 10 starts, should I say, for Spain. Mikel Oyarzabal with the goal, and that's the difference between the two sides at half time. Here's how the bracket stands on your screen. And as you can see, bottom left, Spain, if they can hold this, will go through and will face the winner of the game upcoming later on tonight. It's a 12 a.m. kickoff UK time. Portugal Cristiano Ronaldo and Portugal against Croatia, and another of the all-European ties in this second round, or round of 32, whatever you prefer. And then 4 more matches on that bottom right-hand side of the draw to conclude the round of 32 tomorrow. Or over the next little period anyway. Yeah, they are tomorrow, aren't they? Argentina against Cape Verde, Australia, Egypt, Switzerland, Algeria, and Colombia against Ghana, all in that bottom right-hand corner of your screen as we wind towards the round of 16. Of course, the US booking their place in the round of 16 yesterday, that 2-0 victory against Bosnia. Although they will be without their stars of the tournament so far. Balogun got the goal yesterday, but was then sent off. So he will miss the game against Belgium, who, of course, got through in dramatic fashion yesterday afternoon, coming from behind, 2 goals behind, in fact, against Senegal to win with the Yuri Tielemans late show up in Seattle. Spain have the lead at the break here at SoFi. Ayafabal's goal, the difference between the two teams. So this would at the moment make it 7-1. The all-out record for Spain. They are 6-2 with the 1 draw. Met actually since 2009, these two nations, which was a friendly, which Spain won by 5-1, and they're 1 up here. BBC picking apart the disallowed goal. I'm perhaps wondering why it was no different to the goal that Germany scored against Paraguay, which got taken away from them. Of course, Germany already on their way home, perhaps with their near neighbours Austria to join them if it stays the same. As you can see on screen, scrolling through the times for the rest of the matches in this round of 32. That's going to be a good one tomorrow, Argentina against Cape Verde, because that could be the fairy tale of all fairy tales if little Cape Verde can put out the current holders, Lionel Messi as well, and all that. Big game to come there tomorrow. Colombia against Ghana as well. And then we get into the round of 16 games on Saturday, which the first game is Canada against Morocco at 1 p.m. Eastern time on Saturday. But our first offering on the Ultimate Sports Network is going to be Paraguay, who, of course, knocked out Germany in spectacular fashion on penalties on Monday. They will face the Flying French. 10 p.m. UK time, 5 o'clock Eastern time on Saturday. And then it's Erling Haaland and Norway against Brazil on Sunday afternoon, 4 p.m. Eastern for that one. And we will have a choice of listening on Sunday, of course, because while that's going on, not just after that game, I suppose, our coverage beginning at 6 p.m. for the return of the NASCAR Cup Series to Chicagoland Speedway with the Aero 400. Sunday night on a fairly big weekend of sport and Americanness, of course, being that it's July 4th on Saturday. And that's a big one, isn't it, on Sunday night? The wee small hours of Monday morning for myself and JT. Mexico versus England at the Azteca on Sunday. And it's going to be well, interesting. Let's say that could be all or anything, that game on Sunday. The big news, of course, over the last few hours here in the UK is that the pubs will be open all the way up until 5 a.m. Sunday night. Big news that everyone can go to the pub at the wee small hours and watch England probably lose. But we shall see. Mexico, England on Sunday night. With, I'm guessing, yet to be confirmed, Mr. Matthew Owens behind the microphone for that one on Sunday night, because I'll certainly be in a sleepy daze after being at Silverstone all day for the British Grand Prix on Sunday. I'll be back Monday to see who we've got. At the moment, it's going to be Spain in my Monday night game, who we're seeing right now, against either Portugal or Croatia that come up later on this afternoon. And it looks like at the moment that Spain in a very decent position with the 1-goal lead here at half time at SoFi. JT in my ear. It's either going to be Matthew Owens or Seth Eves on the England game, as that will overlap with the end of the NASCAR race at Chicago. Yeah, not a bad shout. If there are rain delays around the NASCAR race and there is a World Cup game to be called, we will pivot to it. But that's a bridge we'll have to cross at the weekend. So So Spain 1, Austria 0 at half time here in California. Miguel Ayafabal with the goal that has got Spain in front. They've had the ball in the net twice with the Cucurella goal that was ruled out for a push. 64% possession to the Spaniards in that first half. 11 shots on goal to the 2 of Austria. None of those 2 on target. Excuse me, for Austria. They've had all the corners, Spain. They've had little to do with defence. Matthew Owens in the chat there. So good afternoon to you, Matthew, wherever you are listening in from. It's not been the most spectacular half of football, let's put it that way, but Spain are leading. BBC currently in their half-time break going over the England performance from yesterday. No, it's not like that at all. And if it was on ITV, we would be coming to the game and talking about England straight away before the match we were about to see, because that's what ITV have been doing. Now we're going to go to Kelly to Kelly action going on here on BBC One with Kelly Cates throwing to Kelly Summers, who is embedded in the England camp all tournament in Kansas City. But anyway, well, as we talked about before, we'll find out. We'll find out what England will do up against Mexico on Sunday night. JT is joining us so that only that you can hear him as well as me.
Hello.
Hello.
It's not like BBC on their 2 a.m. game this morning only showed England DR Congo highlights through the whole of half time because it was 2 a.m. and they had no one in their studio in Salford because of how late it was. That, of course,
really,
yes, that of course would have been solved if they actually sent the pundits out to America, where it would have been a reasonable time.
And they wouldn't have even needed to have been in the stadium. They could have just had people
Exactly.
in a bunker somewhere.
Also, because they had no one in their Salford studio, they came on air at 10 to 2 and went straight to the teams walking out. So yeah, incredible scenes from the BBC in the early hours. It was for the USA game as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You thought it would have had at least 10 minutes of build up. I mean, we've had half an hour for this game, but we are in prime time for two European nations, I suppose.
Also, the Wimbledon coverage that they have on, because they have the afternoon local news, the national from 1 to 1:30, and then the local from 1:30 to 2 o'clock. Yes. And then at 2 o'clock, they went back to Wimbledon on BBC One. Centre Court started at 1:30. It was on iPlayer for the first half an hour. And then we all assumed that BBC One would go straight to Centre Court, because BBC Two was on the number one court game. So you would have thought that Centre Court is more important than number one court, so they would put Centre Court on the higher number channel. And that would save all of the switching of channels and courts around. So number one court was in the deciding set, or was in a set which was very close to winning the game, and they decided to put the BBC Two match on BBC One just to put Centre Court on BBC Two, when they could have just put Centre Court on BBC One and left BBC Two as it was. But,
yeah, it was.
Yeah. In incredible scenes. I don't think I can understand the mind of BBC at times, but here we are. And now I'm going to open up the YouTube chat and see something about Matthew saying JT's talking about the BBC again, which I'm surprised I opened the YouTube chat and not see Matthew Owen saying something along the lines of, oh, JT's talking about the BBC again.
You must be driving.
Yeah.
And listening to it.
Wait, no.
Keep your eyes on the road and your hands on the wheel.
He said that he's at work until 8 p.m. Eastern, which is like 1 a.m. So I don't think he'll be driving. He might just be busy. Yes. Another thing that the BBC love doing. Don't you just love it when they scroll through the upcoming matches, and they show the games on BBC One, but the games that are on ITV, they say you can listen to them on BBC Sounds and catch the highlights on BBC iPlayer.
Also, they while we're BBC bashing on the BBC Football YouTube channel, the games that they have, the thumbnail for the match highlights doesn't have the score, but the games that they have not showed, it has the score in the thumbnail.
Incredible.
I noticed the other day. You would think it would all be standardized, but no.
I mean, this is a virtual studio. You can tell that it is a virtual studio, but I will give the BBC something. I've seen Fox's at virtual studio, and that's from a different planet. There is no hiding from Fox at all that it is a virtual studio. It's the most it's the most outside of normality that you could get. There's digital beams going everywhere and everything. Anyway, I'm gonna shut up and I'm gonna mute my mic and I'm gonna remove my mic from OBS so that the person who is actually meant to talk about football can start talking about football as the teams are coming out of the tunnel for the second half. Matt, back to you.
Thank you, JT. Yes, players just emerging from the tunnel down in the corner. Plenty of fans need to re-emerge from the concession stand as we get ready to get back underway here. Spain will try and continue their dominance in the game in terms of the stats, as we ran through a little while ago, possession, shots, corners, all of those things. You don't really need to do too much here to keep Austria at bay, you would think. Every time Austria have had a chance forward, it's sort of been snuffed out, relatively speaking. We are going to have a half-time substitution here, and it is going to be for Austria. Coming on is Kane Chukwuemeka, the 22-year-old, winning only his 4th cap. Looks like this might be a double change, actually. Get that confirmed for you in a second, but Chukwuemeka is definitely coming on. Number 17, and also as off is Xavi Schlager, number 4, and Nicholas Seiwald, the number 6. Chukwuemeka was one of the guys coming on, didn't quite catch the second. We'll catch up with that in a minute as we're back underway with Austria kicking now from left to right in this second half here in Los Angeles. JT will have the substitute graphics up for you in moments to confirm the Austrian changes. 5, of course, in the game, and an extra one if we get to extra time, as we saw last night in the Belgian-Senegal game. But we'll worry about that later if we need to. It doesn't look at this moment as if we're going to have to play another half an hour tonight, but we will find out. It is the number 10, Florian Grich, that will come on as well. Currently playing his club football in Portugal with Braga. And he will be sporting the number 10 for the Swiss. Unai Simon has the ball for Spain. Oh, he was put under a little bit of pressure there. And there's a second substitution to confirm on screen. Chukwuemeka on and Seiwald off. Cucurella has it, and he hands off to Buena. It's crowded out and wins a free kick right in front of the Austrian bench. They're not particularly happy about it, but the referee's actually had to run across to tell the Austrian assistant manager, I believe, to just calm down here. No need for that. We had some stuff happening. There was the Rudy Garcia, the Belgian coach, got booked in the game yesterday for expressing some opinions down there. Spain with it back underway. Here is Rodri. And out wide it goes to Pedro Porro. He finds Dani Olmo. Here's Porro again. Nice 1-2 with Lamine Yamal. Here's Yamal. Got pressure around him. Has to go backwards. Ball is now with Rodri again, just inside the Swiss half. Crossfield ball with Cucurella. Goes on again to Baena. Nice triangle play here from Spain. Rodri. Pedri. He gets it back from Olafabal. Chance to run into the centre here for Pedri and play it towards Yamal. Chukwuemeka was in there to break it up. And Porro breaks it back up for Spain to win it back and keep it in. Didn't go out for a throw. And now he's going to win a free kick, is he? Yes. A Spanish free kick on the far side. Porro and Chukwuemeka getting involved with Lema down there. And Spain will have a chance to swing in a free kick here from just in line with the edge of the penalty area, right out by the far touchline. Alex Baena has come across to discuss the taking of this one with Lamine Yamal. 5 red shirts in the box for Spain with 2 loitering on the edge. Cucurella has come up from the back, as has Laporte. Schlager trying to organise his wall. They've gone short, have Spain. Here's Yamal running towards the edge of the penalty area. 2 defenders in front of him. He skipped past both of them, has he? Then pushes Sabitzer to the ground. Does Yamal in frustration, and it'll be an Austrian free kick. Nothing coming of that one. For the young Spanish phenom on that right-hand side. Austria had it in possession, but they was crowded out. Here's Iafabal running into the centre, and his tame shot from the edge of the penalty area is straight at the goalkeeper, Alex Schlager. Some decent chances for Spain if they managed to have them some tame efforts that have not troubled the goalkeeper really in any way. They're up by a goal to nil, but what we've seen, if their finishing has been better, it could be 3 or 4. Long pump ball forward, headed on by Posh, the right back forward, and it's cut out by some Spanish defending, and Cucurella will clear for Spain. It's going to come all the way back in the end. Off the head of Laporte to Unai Simon, who clutches just inside his penalty area. No particular rush here for Spain. They are well on top in this game. The scoreline might suggest otherwise, but they are looking fairly comfortable. Here is Cucurella. He's got a chance to find Dani Olmo. Does do. He'll help it on towards Alex Baena, the number 15. He is stopped in his tracks by Stefan Posch, and it is going to be a throw-in to Spain. De La Fuentes continuing to bark out the orders from the Spanish touchline. Cucurella with the throw, trying to get Olmo in behind. It comes off Wana, and it is going to be a Spanish corner. Paul Wana, one of the younger of the Austrian group. This is only his 4th cap, the 20-year-old playing his club football at PSV in Holland, the Netherlands, sorry. Spain corner. Baena will take this. Right hand up in the air to signal, and he will swing this in right-footed. Pushing and shoving going on inside the penalty area. It's a low-driven corner from Baena, and it's headed up and behind by Iafabal. Goal kick. Just was a little bit behind him, Iafabal there. Couldn't quite turn his head and get the power and position on the header. And Austria will play out with the goal kick from the back here. Charge down though, the Rodri with a block there to get Spain back in possession. And here's Dani Olmo with some space, centre of the field, running at defenders. Dani Olmo into the D, goes down. Referee says fair challenge from Kevin Danso. Olmo not particularly impressed, and Austria will come away with it. And Chukwuemena's given it away to Yamal, who's got some grass to run into the penalty area towards Olmo. He goes down again. Rodri couldn't get it under his spell, and Wana was there to clear, and will continue to run it clear, but only as far as Pedri. Here is Alex Baena into the penalty area down this near side, but he's crowded out, needs some help, finds it with Cucurella. Baena again. Chance to cross. Is only Olmo in the penalty area for Spain. And they will, back in the lines, will pass it across. Cucurella. Striding forward edge of the penalty area. Shot was, sort of pass attempt was blocked, and it's ended up going out for a Spanish throw. Pedri. Cucurella again. And the ball again is out, and it's another Spanish throw in. Two balls on the pitch briefly. Slight delay of game, but we are back underway now with a throw in. Here is Spain coming forward again from deep. Rodri, he's got a chance to make some room for a shot. Does do. Oh, it was close, but it swings past the right-hand post. It might actually go down as a corner. It will. It's good defending from the Austrian defender. They got across to get the block on it, and the ball's spun about a yard or so wide of the post. We've played the Olmo foul from before. That's damning evidence, to be honest. That should have been a free kick right on the edge, but it wasn't. Never mind. Baena will take this this corner, for Spain. And it goes towards the near post, headed away. Only as far as Yamal, who's come across to this side. He ended up dancing over the ball and losing possession. Spain getting it back, and it's going to go via Pedri all the way back to Unai Simon. 54 and a bit minutes played here at SoFi Stadium in California. Spain 1, Austria 0. Mikel Oyarzabal with the goal 10 minutes before half time. Yamal trying to get forward for Spain. He is fouled. No, he's gone down injured. Referee says play on. Yamal still on the turf. Chukwuemeka trying to bring it forward for Austria. He's been crowded out. Ball is with Baena. Spain players wanting the game stopped. Baena's now gone down under a challenge from Posh. That is going to be a free kick. And Baena has stayed down here. Picked back up by Stefan Posh. That was definitely a foul. Coming through the back of him there. Yamal not quite up a bit. We have Ferdinand and Kobe Jones sitting next to each other up in the Posh seats. I think from the half of the name badge I got, Rio Ferdinand sitting next to Giorgio Chiellini as well. World Cup royalty wherever you go in this tournament. It's Rodri for Spain. Laporte deep inside his own half. Ball forward to the near side touchline, finds Baena. He couldn't help it on towards Pedri, who was intended target. Spain have it back though. And here is Pedri running from deep. He'll find Baena in the near side corner. Goes back to Cucurella. No one in the penalty area for Cucurella to aim for. Instead finds Rodri, who bends it out to the far side. Pedro and Yamal combining. Pedro Porro into the box. His cross is blocked. And Wana will help it clear. And here come Austria on the far side with Sabitzer. First time they've managed to get out really in this second half so far. And chances continue to come into the penalty area. It was just away from Gregotic. It was Conrad Bleimer forward from left back there with a chance to do something, but a misplaced cross and no real chance on goal. Here is Yamal on the far side, full Spain. Two around him again. Chukwuemeka being one of them. Porro. Rodri. Laporte taking over. Still Aymeric Laporte. He finds Baena. Oyarzabal edge of the penalty area. Back to Baena again. He plays a 1-2 with Gavi. Baena goes for the shot. It's blocked. Spain get possession back quickly though. As we approach the hour mark. Cucurella. Pedri trying to get some help forward. He finds Laporte. Pedri gets it back. Baena, who's come in field. Cucurella in the left wing position. Pedri went through him. Here's Yamal, and the double ricochet is going to end up going out for a goal kick. But I thought Pedri should have been given a free kick there, and still on the ground is the Barcelona midfielder. It was Danzo who came through him in his, as Tottenham fans will probably agree to this, his traditional clumsy fashion. And it'll end up being a goal kick in the end to Austria anyway. Here is Danzo. Long ball forward from the edge of his own penalty area towards Gregotic, who's really not had any kind of sniff up top for Austria. And Simon clears for Spain. Alaba with a long header forward. The two Austrian players forward were both offside. And they are now being flagged for offside. And we're going to see another change. And again, it's an Austrian change, and it's going to be Romano Schmidt, who we barely mentioned his name, coming off. There's a double change, in fact. So Schmidt off, number 18. Arnautovic is the number 7 that's come on. Score of a couple of goals so far in this tournament for Austria. It's quite surprising that he ended up starting on the bench. So he is on. It's Gregotic for Arnautovic up top, and Schmidt being replaced by Karadosic, the number 14. Double change for Austria with just over half an hour to play, as they still think there's something in this at 1-0, and they'd be right to think that too. Let's not forget what we saw yesterday in the Belgium-Senegal game. Danzo with it for Austria inside the centre circle. Is Alaba. He plays it out to Sabitzer on the far side, up against Pedro Porro. Right footed cross. Oh, and the header is just over from the substitute. Sasa Kaladzic. Instant impact from Austria here with the changes made, and Kaladzic just couldn't keep his header down. He was under pressure from Cucurella. Perhaps came at him a bit quick in the end, but that's the best chance Austria have had to get on the score sheet so far this afternoon. From Sasa Kaladzic with his first touch. It's going to be a Spain throw on this near side. Off the restart. Dani Olmo. Nice swinging ball out towards Yamal, if he can keep that in, which he does. Heading towards the edge of the penalty area. Lamine Yamal for Spain, dancing feet, and lays it off for Dani Olmo to strike it, and it's blocked. And Austria survive again. And two Barcelona players combining on the edge of the Austrian box. Rodri. Laporte. Pedri turns and runs and finds Yamal. Again, he'll have a job to keep that in. And he does, right down by the corner flag, prevents the goal kick, and the flag has gone up, in fact, for offside against Yamal. After all that running he just did to keep the ball in. I'm not sure, that was close. Very close looking in replay. Alaba clearing forward for Austria. Arnautovic gets his first touch as a header on towards Kalasnic. Sabitzer helping it on. And again. Here's Kalasnic on the far side. Looping ball over the top, trying to get Arnautovic clear. Simon's had to come out of his goal. There's a collision. Simon headed flag up anyway against Arnautovic, who's now down on the ground. After the clash with the on-rushing goalkeeper. Came and won the header, but clattered Arnautovic, who I think will be fine because he was holding his head. The contact was between Unai Simon's posterior and the shoulder of Marko Arnautovic. He's still down on the field. The referee is signalling the Austrian players back because they've all gone to the bench here to get liquid refreshment, but it's not the liquid refreshment break period for them. The referee trying to signal the Austrian players back onto the field of play. We're going to get a replay here of the Kalasnic attempt from before. Sabitzer's cross. Just coming in around the back. It needed less of a touch, if anything, to try and guide it towards the far corner. But he couldn't keep the header down. 63rd minute of this round of 32, all European tie. Spain with the 1-0 advantage. A Mikel Oyarzabal goal in the first half. We're back underway after the brief stoppage for Arnautovic being on the ground. Spain in possession with Laporte just inside their own half. Rodri trying to make some forward momentum, ends up being crowded out. Ball just being kept in on the near side by Chupamena, who's come to the right hand side now with the changes that have been made. Long ball forward looking for Arnautovic, but that's way over hit and spins through to Simon. Long ball forward out of the back from Spain, looking for Yamal, who's got around the back of one, and he's got a chance to dance for his way through into the penalty area, trying to create some space. And Lima got in there and got the boot in to stop him. Pedri. He loses out. Spain still have it with Olmo, Cucurella. And now Alex Baena on this near side touchline, trying to dance past Stefan Posch. Olmo. Pedri. Porro. Nice 1-2 touch with Yamal. Porro again. Still Austria sitting in here, making it very hard for Spain to create any kind of through ball angle. It's come to Dani Olmo, about 20 yards out. His shot was blocked. It spins to Cucurella. Here's Alex Baena into the penalty area, left-footed cross, and the header is in. And it's a double for Spain. It's Pedro Porro to double Spain's lead. Where did he come from right back position to find himself on the penalty spot? He won't care, and nor will they. It's Spain 2, Austria 0. Pedro Porro getting his first goal for his country, and it could not have been a more important one. Because with 20 and a bit minutes to go, if we discount the hydration break, which is about to happen, that could be game over. I went for the shot. It spun back via Cucurella towards Alex Baena. No doubt about them being onside there. He danced towards the touchline and the pullback. And Pedro Porro with an easy header, really, to slice it past Schlager in the Austrian goal. They're appealing for offside, the Austrian defenders, but there was no problem at all with that. And Pedro Porro, the Tottenham man, makes it 2-0 to Spain. And Austria's World Cup is hanging by an even slimmer thread now. Thought we might have had the hydration break there before the game restarted off the goal, but we haven't. We are back underway, and we are back underway with a free kick being given to Spain. And Arnautovic, Klastic, sorry, to the back of Laporte there. Double change being readied for Spain now that they're 2-0 up. Catch up with that in a moment. And now we're being given the signal for the hydration break in the second half. So 2-0 to Spain. Pedro Porro getting that goal to double the advantage of the European champions. They might finally be breaking their curse of not winning a World Cup knockout game since winning the whole tournament back in 2010 in the final. Of course, the winner of this one will play the winner of the game coming up later on this afternoon, American time. Portugal against Croatia. There is the bracket as it stands without Spain in there. That's the bottom left-hand corner of the graphic, as you can see. Portugal versus Croatia upcoming next this afternoon. And then our attention switches to the bottom right hand 4 games to complete this round of 32 here in the World Cup. We're getting a replay on our screens of the second goal again. Oh, there you go. Thank you, JT. He's put Spain in as it stands 2-0. So that's as it stands right now. Spain would be the away team in that tie. Be a tasty one if Portugal can get through against Croatia. That'd be a good game. Spain versus Portugal in the next round. The 2 near neighbours facing off in a round of 16 World Cup game. That'll be Monday in this time slot. Be a game that I'll be more than likely on. Spain against, if Spain hold this for the next 20 minutes against Portugal, and the winners of Portugal Croatia, which is upcoming this afternoon. The hydration break about to be completed. We have 52 seconds of it left because I can see that on the big screen here in the stadium. We will be 1/3 of the way through the knockout phase at the end of this game. Thank you for that, JT. There's going to be a double change for Spain. Ferran Torres, another of the Barcelona men, he's on. And also Arsenal's Mikel Merino, number 6, and Ferran Torres wearing the number 7 for Spain. Didn't see who's gone off. We'll get confirmation of that, I'm sure, shortly from FIFA. So we wait for the restart here. Still we wait, and now we're underway with a long ball forward from the free kick from Laporte. It's fallen to Mikel Merino. Lamel. Spain will go back. Baena and Olmo, the players withdrawn for Spain, as you can see on screen. Ferran Torres and Mikel Merino are on. And Merino goes down and wins Spain a free kick just inside the Austrian half. David Alaba with the foul. Ralf Rangnick looking on pensively from the Austrian bench. Can his team come up with something in a Belgian vein from yesterday to keep them in the tournament? Port for Spain. Ball forward from Rodri. Ferran Torres is in behind here. Not got many to aim for in the middle. And he's been blocked out by Chukwuemeka, and it's cleared by Posh. Nice work though from Rodri to get the opportunity there, and the ball spins out for a throw in to I think Spain. Yes, it'd be a Spanish throw on this near side. I think the match momentum bar there looks like a Tour de France stage from Spain. Just up, down, up, down, up, down at the top of the graphic. Another portion of the big sporting weekend coming up with the Tour de France kicking off on Saturday in Barcelona this year. Yeah, Barcelona definitely in France, JT, absolutely, and as will be the second stage, which goes mostly through Spain as well on Sunday and Monday. All of those Tour de France stages happening in Spain. Anyway, Austria getting the ball forward down the left-hand side, but way over hit. It's going to spin through to Unai Simon in the Spanish goal. Miscontrol from Rodri. Second time that's happened today from my remembrance, but he actually ends up winning a free kick off Arnautovic, who's displeased with that one. He actually did win the ball there. Rodri down, and some cramp assistance from the goal scorer Pedro Porro. Here's Cucurella for Spain on this near side. Ball forward towards Ferran Torres. He tried a little cheeky step over it. Falls to Pedri. Alaba out of the back to claim. And as far as Porro, he tries a raking ball forward, which is going to be way over hit and will spin out for a goal kick to Austria. 15 minutes to play plus stoppage time at SoFi Stadium, Spain. 2 goals to the good here. We are playing. There is a ball on the field. I don't really know why we were let back go there, because there is a ball on the field in the far corner, which will probably sit there now until someone retrieves it. Ball's in the centre circle, and Austria have a free kick. Chukwuemeka was fouled. Oh my goodness me! And there's a push by Wanner, who thrust, I didn't see what Spanish player it was, to the ground, and now there's all kinds of pushing and shoving going on. Of course, Marko Arnautovic comes in leading with his head, and the referee has got it all to sort out here. I think Austria wanted to get on with it quickly, and whoever the Spanish player was that ended up on the deck did not want that to happen. But Paul Wanner, that was a certain push, and if he doesn't get at least a yellow card here, I'll be very, very shocked. Referee talking to all players here to see if he can figure out what's gone on and why. And we're going to get the restart. And the ball is forward, and then it's going to be cleared by Pedro Porro. And he ends up losing possession, and Austria will have a throw on the far side. Chance perhaps here for them with 15 minutes to play. Ball in from the throw towards Arnautovic, who goes down, and the referee signals for a goal kick. He was trying to play for a corner there, was Arnautovic, but nothing doing for him there. Goal kick Spain. With 14 minutes left on the clock. Simon with the ball forward. Pedri helps it on. Iafabel plays it short. Marino, lovely play from Spain. Here's Ferran Torres. Back towards Mikel Marino. Into the penalty area. Left-footed cross is blocked down by Danso. And that's going to go out for a corner. It is. Referee signals for a corner to Spain. Danso wasn't quick enough to gather that one up and clear off a silly little back pass from him. I'm not sure who it was, but Austria cheaply giving away possession and giving Spain a chance here from the corner, which Yamal will trot across to take on this near side. Kubasi forward from the back, Laporte as well. A third goal would absolutely put this one to bed. What can Yamal rustle up here? Right hand in the air as he waits to take this corner left-footed. It's an outswinger. It's deep towards the back post, and coming around the back was Ferran Torres, and he couldn't direct his header goalwards, and it's going to be a goal kick. Just hanging around at the back there, Ferran Torres, as the corner came in, and just got free of his marker, Chukwuemeka, but couldn't keep the header down. Forward towards Arnautovic for Austria, but Spain grabbed back possession briefly. Chukwuemeka under attack from Cucurella. He goes back to Stefan Posch, and he will go back to the goalkeeper, who clears. Kalacic, and now here is Danso. David Alaba, 12 minutes to play at SoFi, 2-0 Spain. As Austria try to break forward down the left-hand side. Sabitzer blocked by Porro, and he will then launch clear. They've got it back though. Marcel Sabitzer again. Here's Posh. As the ball comes across to the right-hand side, he'll centre it. David Alaba. He's Chukwuemeka towards Arnautovic. Chukwuemeka, chance for a shot, but the angle was worsening for him as it rolled across the box and he ends up scooping it wide. Best passage of play for Austria so far in this game. It's only taken them 79 minutes. And all three subs combining, 3 of the 4 subs combining, and Chukwuemeka under pressure from Cucurella and others. Couldn't direct his shot. Ends up in the front row behind the goal there. Here's Marino. Ball is now at the feet of Pedri. Nice chinking turn to get away from some Austrian defenders. Ferran Torres on the near side for Spain. Goes back inside to Pedri. Here's Rodri. Back at the halfway line. A bit more desperation going on here in the works for Austria as they need the ball. They need to get something going and get themselves back in the game. Mikel Merino. Rodri. Cucurella. And again they go back. Laporte. Spain just keeping possession here. They don't need to do anything other than that for the next 10 minutes, plus stoppage time. Cucurella now advancing. Chance for to maybe swing a ball in. It's a low cross towards Yamal, who tried to get it back to Pedri, but it was behind him. And then in the intervene afterwards, Marino with a foul. Be an Austrian free kick. Nice idea from Cucurella. It was actually Ferran Torres that tried to set it back to his Barcelona teammate, but it was behind him. Alaba forward for Switzerland. And Porro across to make the challenge on Lema. Throw in. Which Lema will take. Gritsch, number 10. One of the subs. We've barely mentioned him on the ball for Austria since he came on, 15 minutes or so ago. Sabitzer on the far side. Chance for a left-footed cross. It's deep towards Posh coming in. And that was a decent chance behind Cucurella, but he couldn't direct his header goalwards. Another good ball in for Marcel Sabitzer, and Stefan Posch coming in. Didn't quite get the necessary contact. In fact, it probably came off Cucurella. But referee did not give a corner. Here is Yamal for Spain, just inside the Austrian half. Chance to run at them. Plays it through. It's helped on. And Ferran Torres, he couldn't get out of his feet. And it's going to be a goal kick for Austria. Shot Kevin Danso there. He looks absolutely banjaxed. We've still got 10 minutes or so to play. Chasing these slightly sparkling Spanish attacking players. Cooking in the heat of Los Angeles. Long ball forward towards Arnautovic. He heads down towards Chukwuemeka. He's helped it on. Spain get it back. And it's going to be a free kick to Spain. Cucurella was fouled by Posh, who I believe that's the first yellow card of the game. It's taken us 82 minutes, but we finally got one. And there's a cynical foul from the chin guard wearing right back Stefan Posch for Austria. You can see some more substitutions here for both sides by the looks of things. Coming up momentarily, we get the confirmation of the Posh yellow. It's going to be Gavi that's ready for Spain. The play continues. Vayafabel stroking it out right hand side, to Lamine Yamal. Nonchalantly drops it off Porro. JT confirms my suspicions that it was the first card of the match. Spain have it in the centre with Pedri. Has wiggled away from a couple and ran into some more trouble. Finally drops off to Rodri, Cucurella. Marino takes over again. Spain again just keeping possession here, not having to do anything too dramatic. Pedri, Marino, here's Ferran Torres. Nice ball on. Ayafabal, chance for a third Spanish goal. Ayafabal into the penalty area, lays it across, and it's going to fall to Yamal on the spin. Good block on the line from Danso. And I was going to say, the ball spins out for a corner, but it's been kept in, and then a foul by Ayafabal. And Austria close to conceding a third. And David Alaba is absolutely apoplectic at his teammates in the middle. I think it was the captain actually that stopped the ball from going in off the spin turn from Yamal. Good work from Torres. It was the captain back there on the line to save his team from conceding a third. And Yamal, that was his last contribution. He's off for Spain. Gavi is on. So just the one change here for the Spaniards, a Barcelona man for another Barcelona man. And Austria have it on the far side with Lima trying to bring one forward. He finds Arnautovic and the referee says stop. We have a flag on the near side against Arnautovic offside. Getting a replay of the Lamau chance, and that was going straight in if it wasn't for David Alaba on the line next to the rooted to the spot Austrian goalkeeper. We approach 4 minutes and change to play here at SoFi. Long ball forward looking for Gavi. But back there was some defending going on for Austria, and they will clear. Schlager with the left-footed clearance forward, the goalkeeper. Posh has gone off, by the way, as well for Austria. We didn't see it on screen, and he's been replaced by Alexander Prass for Austria. While the Yamal change was happening, that also happened too. Spain have a free kick in the centre circle. Rodri's peeled that one out towards Pedro Porro in the far corner. First time cross, just behind Torres. Here's Gavi coming in, and he couldn't get contact with it, and Austria will clear. Chukwuemeka, helped on by Gritic. Chukwuemeka again. He plays a nice ball in towards Kalacic, down towards the Spanish touchline. Right-footed cross, overhit though, looking for either Sabitzer or Arnautovic, and Spain will clear. We've seen plenty of goals in this round of games from about the 85th minute onwards. Saw plenty of them last night. Will we see some more here? As Austria turn up the wick here for a final shot at goal. Sabitzer tried the cross. It was blocked out by Porro. Ferran Torres trying to wriggle clear. He is bundled to the ground. Referee says play on. Ayafabal swings it out. And here's Gavi, the substitute. At the halfway line was the furthest player forward, ends up going backwards, and Spain just calming it down. No need to go crazy here. Gavi again. Some Spanish arm waving and gesticulation going on, but Pedri in the middle of the park with he wasn't happy with what was going on there, but Spain in possession. Ayafabal coming deep. He finds Marino. Ferran Torres has gone out to the right-hand side. Here he is for these final throws of the game. Laporte brings it forward. Here is Cucurella. Chance for him to roll one in. And here's a chance, and here's a goal, and that's going to be free. Ayafabal again. Austria switched off at the back. And Mikel Ayafabal gets his second of the game. A quite brilliant pass from Marc Cucurella. And Spain have confirmed it. It's 3-0 with moments to play here. Mikel Oyarzabal gets his second, and he won't have an easier finish all tournament. Spanish delight in SoFi. Interesting to go back and count the passes of this move. But Cucurella, he was all alone, no one around him, and they all stopped. And Oyarzabal streaking clear. With a lovely ball in towards the penalty spot from Cucurella and a stroke finish across the goalkeeper, nicely into the corner. And Oyarzabal second makes it Spain 3, Austria 0 with moments to play. Probably could have had more. They're still not at full song, the Spaniards. But they have put Austria well and truly to the sword here this afternoon. Back underway as we tick into stoppage time. Spain booking their place in the last 16 on Monday, where, as I've been saying, they will face the winners of the next game in the tournament upcoming later on this afternoon between Portugal and Croatia. 6 minutes will be added to the end of this second half. There is Porro for Spain out on the far side in the sunshine. Marino. His ball forward was blocked out, and Austria will take up possession. Alaba plays it wide. Chance for a bit of Austrian attacking here. The far side, but then try and work out an angle. Sabitzer been painted to that left-hand touchline all game. He gets a cross in. It's well defended by Rodri. Swings it clear. It's going to spin and keep in. Looked like it was going to go for a throw. Riched. And again, here's Sabitzer on the far side. Rightfully crossed this time towards Kalasic going around the back. And Unai Simon comes out and takes a nice claim. No problem at all there. Relatively easy take from the Athletic Bilbao goalkeeper. Spain have won themselves a free kick on this near side touchline. Referee being talked to by Oyarzabal. I think he wanted a card there. We're going to see a couple more Spanish substitutes right at the end. And it's Aymeric Laporte who is making way. At least one of them anyway. And Pedri the other. So Laporte and Pedri off for Spain as we play the final throws of this game. Marc Pubil is on. And also Fabian Ruiz of PSG. Austria have the ball on the edge of their own penalty area with Kevin Danso. Trying to find a way out, but still the Spanish press continues. They might be 3-0 up with 4 minutes to play in stoppage time, but the work is still the same. Alaba chucks it long towards the centre circle. Spain win it back. Missed control from Gavi, but Rodri was there to pick it up. Gavi goes down under a challenge. Referee says play on. Danso doesn't really have too many options in front of him, has to go long. Looking for Sabitzer, who got through the middle, and Pedro Porro had come across to make the defensive header. Spain will clear out from the back. And referee has halted proceedings. I think this ball has gone out for a throw on this near side. 2.5 minutes to play. Spain 3, Austria 0. 2 from Mikel Oyarzabal. Pedro Porro with the other goal. And here's a chance going forward for Ferran Torres. Edge of the penalty area. Up against Danso. Right-footed shot. Dragged it. Goal kick. Was all alone up there was Ferran Torres. Yeah, I think he ended up hitting it against his own foot there, which took any sting out of the shot and direction. And out it spins. Schlager has it, the Austrian goalkeeper. He will play it out to David Alaba, who's going to be on the losing captain here. Long ball forward looking for Arnautovic, but cleared for a throw. Unnecessary push from Arnautovic on Palciberez, who was the clearing defender. Be an Austrian throw. They've got a chance to throw a couple of bodies up forward here for this long throw, which just went up in the air rather than forward, and Ferran Torres will clear. Briefly, Austria will have it back. Chance for a cross maybe, while they've got the bodies forward. In it goes, and wasn't any great direction on that cross. And Cucurella will pick it up on this near side. Marino into the last 30 seconds at SoFi. Spain will just try and keep the ball in play and in their possession for the next 20 seconds or so to confirm their spot in the last 16. You know, Simon's long ball has given possession back to Austria. Lima. Danso at halfway. And that is it. Well, Spain have come and they've scored goals and won a game in a knockout game for the first time since 2010. Mikel Oyarzabal will be the Spanish hero. A double from him, another from Pedro Porro. It's all done and dusted here at SoFi. Spain too much in the end for Austria. And many congratulations to the Spanish, who I said at the beginning of the day, their tournament really starts today, and it has done in not emphatic fashion, but a good scoreline nevertheless. And they will go on to face the winners of another All-European tie coming up later on this afternoon between the Portuguese and the Croatians. That'll be the next game in the tournament, and it is live here on the Ultimate Sports Network later on today. Ralf Rangnick can hold his head up high. His team have done a terrific job in this tournament to get out of the group, but a step too far perhaps in this tournament against the reigning European champions. Portugal, Croatia coming up next for us. That is, as I said, the winner of that game will play Spain. There is the updated bracket. Thank you, JT. Spain through then to the round of 16 and will face the winners of Portugal, Croatia, which comes up later on this afternoon. 5 more matches to go in this round of 32 in the first round of the knockout phase here at this 2026 World Cup. Spain running out in the end, fairly comfortable winners at SoFi. If you've liked what you've seen and heard from us here on the channel over the last couple of days, especially with World Cup coverage and tennis from Wimbledon too, that will continue throughout the next couple of weeks. Like and subscribe, please. Argentina against Cape Verde tomorrow. That's a big one. 6 p.m. Eastern. It's a big one for Cape Verde against the world champions. Can the fairy tale continue for them? Another of the round 32 matches, and Colombia against Ghana also could be an interesting game that comes our way tomorrow at 9:30 Eastern. The round of 16 matches kick off on Saturday. Our first dip into the round of 16 will see France, the Flying French, against the Paraguayan team who knocked out the Germans on penalties on Monday. That comes your way at 5 o'clock Eastern time on Saturday evening, late into the night for us here in the UK on Saturday. And then on Sunday, with Wimbledon coverage dotted about as well, we'll have Brazil against Norway, 4 o'clock Eastern time, which is our lead in for the next round of the NASCAR Cup Series, which comes our way from Chicagoland Speedway Sunday night on July 4th weekend, July 4th being on Saturday, of course. The Aero 400 at Chicagoland as Chicagoland gets back on the schedule. Also, in and around that broadcast, depending on what's happening, we'll have Mexico versus England in the round of 16. It is massive. Comes our way from the Azteca on Sunday. That's it then from SoFi Stadium here this afternoon. A double for Michele Affabal, Pedro Porro as well. Spain kicking their tournament into a higher gear, certainly, not top gear for sure. Tougher tests await for the European champions. From everybody at the Ultimate Sports Network, for JT behind the scenes, Matt White, I have been and will continue to be so. I'll be back with you next week for some round of 16 matches. But it's finished here at SoFi. Spain 3, Austria 0. See you soon.